Okay, this is a walkthrough for um, people who are looking to get involved with Special Olympics New York for the first time as a coach or a volunteer with a training club, something on an ongoing basis. This walkthrough will show you how to create your account and make sure that you are fully up to date on all of the required certifications and information that we need in order for you to begin coaching or volunteering with us. Um, if you are an existing coach or an existing parent or otherwise involved in Special Olympics and you are looking to make sure that you have a profile set up, including potentially transferring information over from any of our previous coach training, we do have different walkthroughs for those. Go back and look at our full playlist on our YouTube channel to make sure that you're going through the most appropriate walkthrough. All right, so the first thing you're going to do is go to portals.specialolympics.org. Again, that's portals.specialolympics.org. You are going to want to bookmark that page. It's going to be very important throughout your experience volunteering with Special Olympics New York. Since you are brand new, you're going to want to make sure you hit create an account, pick New York, and put that you are a volunteer. So even if you are becoming a coach because of your job with an agency or school or whatever, from the Special Olympics perspective, you are still a volunteer. I'm just putting in a test email for the sake of example. I'm going to hit send verification code. You will need to wait a few minutes for that code to come through, but it will come through directly to your inbox. I would say wait a maximum of 10 minutes. On most cases, it comes through even quicker than that. Mine just came through, so I think that was like less than 60 seconds. So I'm just going to copy that over, hit verify code. Definitely wait a few minutes before requesting a new code. Or else you can kind of get caught in a loop of entering the wrong code. If you don't see it within 10 minutes, check your junk mail. If you still don't see it, reach out to somebody from your regional office. Right, put your information. As you go through, you'll see that fields some fields have a red star here, a red asterisk. Those are the required fields. Everything else is optional. I'm gonna go ahead and put the fake birthday in there, but enough to show that I am in fact over 18. I'm just doing that for the sake of example because this is going out publicly. Please be sure to put your real birthday in. We use that as a unique identifier. We're not trying to, pass any judgment by how old or young you are, but we do want to know, the age of our coaches. Also make sure that we know that, John Smith is this John Smith, not that one. For the question of language, there is a drop down here, but it's a very long list. You can type whatever languages you speak, put that in there. Again, that's also an optional field. For this, you're going to put whatever your primary region will be. We know that some folks might be getting involved in multiple regions. So, for example, somebody who lives in Eastern Queens or Western Nassau County might be involved in both New York City and Long Island. But go ahead and, for the most part, pick one that you think will be your primary region. If you live in an apartment or have a suite or anything like that, please be sure to put that information. Making sure that you have an emergency contact person, super important. Hopefully we never have to use this information, but just in case, we want to make sure that we do have it on file. Wherever possible, we do ask that you use somebody who would not be with you, at a Special Olympics event. So, for example, I am a coach. I coach cross country with another coach, Caitlin. I don't want to put Caitlin down as my emergency contact information because if we were at a cross country or track meet together and something happened to me, we want to be able to reach out to somebody who is not there, just in case it happens to both of us, right? If something happened to the bus or something like that, we want to make sure that we can reach out to folks who are not on site. But again, hopefully we never have to use this information. All right, so this is a Class C and communicable disease waiver. It is 2 pages. Make sure that you're reading through both pages and agreeing to the terms. All right, so you are now set up as a day of event volunteer. This is the default entry point for all volunteers to get involved with Special Olympics New York. But you are watching this video because you want to become a coach, right? You want to become involved with a training club beyond a single day event. You want to do more. And so that is exactly what you're going to click here. You're going to click on do more, and you're going to apply to the role under coach of either a level 1 coach or a sport assistant. So the biggest difference between those 2 roles and how to determine which one you should apply to is how much sport instruction are you going to be doing. A sport assistant is for those folks who are providing more behavioral support, maybe you're one-on-one chaperone or anything along those lines. If you are going to be an assistant coach providing any level of sport instruction, or even a head coach, you want to start off as a coach level 1. If you're not sure, go ahead and go for coach level 1 because that's automatically going to include all of the requirements of a sport assistant. So that's what we're going to do here. It shows you what are the requirements. You're going to click apply to this position. It'll take a second to process. All right. So now you can go to my checklist. That's here, but it's also up at the top. So anytime moving forward, you want to see your checklist, make sure you're up to date on your certifications, you're going to go up here to my checklist. So here are all of the requirements for what you need to complete in order to become, in this case, a level 1 volunteer. You can see your role progress up here. So as I said before, you're already good to go as an event volunteer if you've reached this point. You can go through these trainings or forms in any order that you'd like. You can pause and come back to it, right? You don't have to do everything in one setting. Some are full trainings, right? Concussion awareness, general orientation, protective behaviors. Some are just forms that you have to read and agree on. So the coach code of conduct, click edit form. You're just reading through. Again, this is a 2-page form. You're reading through that code of conduct, right? What are we expecting from our coaches? And then you're just going to check and make sure that you agree to that. I'm going through this quickly, but please, if you're coming through this for the first time, make sure that you're actually looking through what types of behaviors that we expect from our coaches. One thing to note for the background check, this is going to be a 2-step process. So first, you will click in, you'll answer these questions. And then, as a next step, you're going to be on the lookout for an email from Sterling. Sterling is the vendor that we use to run the background checks. That just ensures the security of your information, right? So something that is used to run a background check is your social security number. We take that super seriously. We want to make sure that all of that information is protected. So we use Sterling because they have the security systems in place to make sure that all of that is protected. So you are going to get an email, right, just like this, where it will give you the option to order your background check, right? Then you will create an account with Sterling, right? You can see up here we have the Special Olympics New York logo there, so you can make sure that it's all correct. The information that you put here needs to match up with the information that you put into the Special Olympics portal. So you can't use this link and send it to your friend who's also becoming involved, because they are going to have their own unique access point to make sure that everything is in alignment. So again, just make sure that you are looking for that email. We have heard that for some folks it goes through spam. So if you don't get that email, reach out to your regional staff person. If you don't know who that person is, you can reach out to volunteers@nyso.org. That's the email address that automatically pops up when you hit that hyperlink. Right, and so this kind of goes through a little bit more about what those statuses are. Right, so it says, you got to check that email. Once all of these statuses have been updated to show completed, then you are ready to go, ready to start volunteering with a training club. Until all of those things are marked as completed, you cannot start with a training club. So I'm going to pause this recording, log out, and then show you an example of what a completed checklist would look like. Okay, so just jumping back into my actual volunteer page here, can go to review my checklist. My checklist will look a little bit different because I do have some coach certifications here. I have sport specific certifications, but you can see, right, everything is marked as completed. You can see when different things expire. So my concussion and background check expire in July 2028. Protective behaviors training expires in September of 2028. I must have just done that a little bit later. I have 2 pages here because I've set up a couple of different things for testing, right? So I have a health history release form listed as an athlete, even though I'm not an athlete. And then coach level 3, which is not yet active in the portal. So that's going to be an error. But everything else I have, sport assistant and coach level 1, 100% ready to go. My track coach training, 100% ready to go. Cross country, 100% ready to go. Swimming, 100% ready to go. So I am cleared in all 3 of those sports to begin training begin volunteering as a level 1 coach. If you have any questions or something on your checklist just isn't showing up correct, go ahead and reach out to a staff person and reach out to that same volunteers@nyso.org, that same email address that I showed earlier. Otherwise, thank you for getting involved with Special Olympics New York, and thank you for watching this walkthrough.